We shall start the session now. A very good morning to all of you, to all the participants. On behalf of Laghu Udyog Bharati, I personally invite all the participants to this very, very important webinar with Inner Park India. May I request Mr. B.S. Srinivasan, our Vice President, Laghu Udyog Bharati Karnataka chapter, to kindly do the introductory remarks, please.
Thank you very much, Shekhar. Good morning and namaste to all the participants and our distinguished guest on the panel today from Inner Park Energy Private Limited. And on behalf of Laghu Udyog Bharati as Vice President and also being in the solar energy field for many years now, this is one of the most important development in the energy reliance and self-sufficiency by including solar as a major program from the Government of India. About 3 months back, we had a program in which we had run a presentation on why the solar energy and the energy electric vehicle market will be totally become the complete market by 2030 will become electric and solar. This was explained very clearly by Professor Tony Seba from University of Stanford, and the oil will become obsolete by the year 2030. And the Government of India, the Government of Karnataka, and all the state governments are doing a very, very good service to bring in the energy efficiency and to make solar mandatory so that at least few percentage of our energy generation and utilization, and by 2030 we can be totally free from importing of oil. And to tell about a few words of Laghu Udyog Bharati, Laghu Udyog Bharati is an all-India organization in the service of micro and small industries and enterprises across the country. We have a membership base in excess of 27,000 across the country. And in Karnataka, we have a membership base of more than 1,000 members at present. We are working out of 18 districts of Karnataka, and we have effectively conducted more than a few hundred programs across the state of Karnataka on various issues of development of entrepreneurship, development of women entrepreneurship, local artisans, handicraft, exporters of the foundry materials, and learning about the lean manufacturing. In fact, we have done a lot of programs on solar for the rural areas where we wanted to take the solar for the rooftop power plants in a big way. In this particular activity, one of our other committee members, Mr. Shesha Prasanna, was also actively involved across the state of Karnataka. I welcome him also to the presentation today, and I request him to make the closing remarks before the end of the session. So today we have an energy-packed session with Inner Park Energy Private Limited, who are into big time into solar rooftop power plants, and they will explain about the whole process of activities which are being done in the country today, and how micro and small industries and enterprises can be in their value chain. And I request them to give a fair chance to all the enterprises and industries in the state of Karnataka and the country for great success. Thank you very much, Shekhar, and I requested our team to hold on to the time till we finish the meeting at about 11:30 this morning. Thank you and welcome once again to all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. Let me briefly introduce the two speakers who will be participating today. Mr. S. Motra, he currently holds the position of Vice President Supply Chain at Inner Park India. He has a BE in Mechanical graduation. He has 15 years of experience in refrigeration industry, working with Videocon and BPL. He has 15 years in solar industry, Tata AP Solar, Inner Park Energy. His domain expertise include vendor development, vendor quality, procurement, and supply chain. We have another speaker, Subramaniam Devi. He currently holds the position of Vice President of Business Development in Inner Park India. He has served as Managing Director at Goa, India, and as the Business Head, Value Budget Housing Corporation. As Vice President of Business Development at Inner Park, He has booked sales of over $9 million in the span of just 5 years. He is interacting with key clients on a regular basis to ensure business continuity and operations success, guiding teams in customer interaction from lead development to opportunity closure and ensuring a good conversion ratio. Developing the strategic plan along with leadership team, setting clear goals for sales and proposal devise action to implement the scheme. May I now officially invite Mr. Nataraj and Mr. Subramaniam to kindly start the session, please.
Yeah. Thank you very much. On NRPARK behalf, we thank Laghu Udyog Bharati members for giving opportunity for us to present the solar perspective. Mr. Subramaniam heads our business development. He will take over to the India perspective of the local solar sector, and afterwards I'll take over for the MSME structure. What are all the components are there? What is requirement is there? I'll just briefly tell you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Srinivasan and Mr. Shekhar. Namaste, and thanks a lot for inviting us for this session. I will briefly present about the opportunity that we have in India today with respect to solar, and then I will talk about what NRPARK does in the solar sector in India, in particular to the rooftop solar power plants in specific, and how we are able to bring considerable value in terms of savings as well as enhancing the sustainability goals of many organizations, both Indian as well as multinational. And then I will hand over to Mr. Nataraj to explain the opportunities that are available for small and medium scale businesses in India for, to be a part of this solar, I would say, growth story. Solar in general is called the sunrise sector because its contribution to the total energy mix in India has been growing and has been growing consistently. So I will now take you through a small. Hope you can see the slide in front of you. In front of me, that it's a small. It's got two graphs and some description. Can you see it, Mr. Shekhar?
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So now this is a trend of the solar market in the last 5 years and the projected trend for the next 3 years, as you can see. These are segmented into two categories: the commercial and industrial sector as well as the utility sector. The utility scale sector that you can see below, the one in the blue, right? This is how the governments, both state, central, and some of the quasi-governmental organizations have been pushing solar power. Now, we are talking about, if you see, until 2019, close to about 25 to 30 gigawatts of solar power being installed. Specific to the term in which Mr. Modi has been in charge, and also the initiatives taken were very progressive, and also the market responded quite positively to the same. And hence, there has been a consistent growth, I would say. From 2016, it jumped to 8 gigawatts in 2017, and 2018-19, it maintained around 6 gigawatts. 2020, even though there is the concerns with respect to Corona and so on and so forth, the utility market per se will continue to be around 6 gigawatts. That's quite a lot of investment getting into solar power. in a developing country, and certainly I would say very encouraging in this kind of a scenario as well. 2021-22 will be better because obviously situations will turn around to be more beneficial for the whole overall market as well, given that we don't expect one more pandemic or one more such scenario to occur in the coming years. So there is an optimistic trend going forward. Right. So now, as far as the above graph in red is concerned, that is the commercial and industrial scale investment. That means these are largely industries which are investing into developing solar power plants, or or the solar power industry putting solar rooftop plants on the industrial roofs and then selling them power. So you can see that even that is in the range of 1,000 megawatts or 1,100 megawatts in 2019, and it is expected to slump down a bit in 2020 because of the situation with respect to COVID. But then it will again, slide up, or rather, I'd say go up in 2021-22. So this is actually also a very, very positive trend. The reason for this is that industrial adoption obviously defines to what extent the technology has become acceptable to the private sector and to the end consumer. So industrial adoption is a true metric of how commoditized the technology has become, how common the technology has become. So solar rooftop gained close to 1 gigawatt a year, which is actually about close to a 20% of what the government is doing. So proportionate to what the government is doing, a 20% is actually being done by the private sector by itself. So which is a substantial investment per se from the private sector in proportionate to what the government is doing. And that is happening. And in developed countries, this goes to almost like 70-80% done by the private sector and about close to a 20% done by the public sector. But I think we will be seeing that trend in the mid 2020s, like means 2025 or so, in India as well, where private sector will go close to 3 to 4 gigawatts and government will do close to 3 to 4 gigawatts. And I think we have all, we should all be prepared for that wave. The slump in this 1 year should not decelerate, and it is actually not decelerating the growth pattern that we have been seeing over the last 3 to 4 years in solar. So with that macro trend explained on both the utility scale solar as well as the commercial and industrial solar in India, I will now talk a bit about Enerpark. You can see my screen of presentation, please. Shekhar, hello, Mr. Shekhar.
Yeah, the screen is visible. Absolutely fine. Please go ahead, sir.
So Enerpark Energy Private Limited is how we call ourselves here. And in India, we are based out of Bangalore. And we proudly call Bangalore not just the IT capital of India, but the solar capital of India also. Because for many reasons, Bangalore, with its cool climate, provides very, very good solar irradiation and hence very good generation as well. I'll step into the description about the company. Globally, we are about 2,300 megawatts. It's 2.3 gigawatts of projects done. We developed, that means as an owner, we have out of this 2,300 megawatts, 1,500 megawatts of our own plants. We have done between Europe, between US, and a few of them in India as well. And close to 300 plus projects in this 1,500 megawatts. That means close to about 5 megawatts a project. And then an operator of 1,900 megawatts. That means these 1,500 megawatts, apart from that, another 400 megawatts of plants which we build, we operate. So we are ranked 1 in Europe and globally top 7 in terms of the asset base we have as a solar power developer. And also as an EPC player, we have been consistently in the top 10. The knowledge hubs for Enerpark, so to say, are only in 3 places. One is in Hamburg in Germany. Second is in Bengaluru in India. Third is in Australia. So essentially these 3 are, so to say, the think tanks for Enerpark, though we have businesses in 20 other countries. So largely, yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Hope the slide is still it is in Indian solar market trends.
Oh,
If you can change it to the regular presentation, it
thanks,
will be good.
thanks for. Can you now see the screen, sir?
Yes, definitely. Please go ahead, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
No, thanks a lot for interjecting and letting us know. So again, just talk about Enerpark, meaning 2,300 megawatts as an EPC player and about 1,500 megawatts as an owner, and close to 300 plus projects, and 1,900 megawatts as an operator. So that's what we are. Operator meaning we take care of the plants that we build, and we also, as a developer, as an owner, we generate energy and then sell the energy, and through that we make our returns. So the think, as I was telling you, the think tanks of Enerpark are only in 3 places, that is India, Germany, and Australia. So we rank number 1 in Europe and number 7 in the world. These are our present. This is our presence across the world in terms of our assets as well as projects that we have done, largely in the European region. Then in India and Central Asia, about 300 megawatts close to in between India and Central Asia. Then USA, we had a business which we sold off now. It doesn't belong to Enerpark. And this gives you an idea of how global our presence is and how important India is in the global presence, actually. So India is very, very important for Enerpark, and our presence in Bangalore is very crucial for the organization. We are established in January 2013, and we are 100% owned by the German company. Now, our average experience in the solar sector is quite high, because most of the employees in Enerpark have been in solar since 2000, and they have been actively involved in the entire solar revolution in India through in various firms. Our managing director, Mr. Santosh, has set up one of the first knowledge centers for Tata BP Solar in India, in Bangalore. And after that, he has also set up the solar business for GMR, the large-scale airport developer. And then after that, he started Enerpark. So he has been in solar for close to about 22 to 23 years. So, and he's the guiding light for the organization. And along with him, most of the team that he has worked with in many organizations continue, and they are the forming pillars for Enerpark. Now, these are the various solar power plants which we have done. You can see our presence expands almost in every state in India, and even until Northeast. In the Northeast, we are doing a very large plant in Assam. In fact, one of the first large-scale installations in Assam, 37 megawatts, in about 200 kilometers from Guwahati. We are one of the first companies to have set up a solar power plant next to an active runway in Delhi International Airport. We have a solar power plant next to the runway. Then we have also set up a solar power plant on a moving crane in port in JNPT port in Mumbai. This is a solar power plant which is actually installed on a moving crane. And then we have also relocated the solar power plants that we built in Delhi Airport to a new location. So solar power plants are usually built for about 25 years of lifetime. So in many times you may want to relocate the plants that are built in one location because of land or roof constraints, and we have also done that. Very few companies in India do that. These are a few of our clients. You can see some of the well-known names like Kurlan Mattresses, the GMR Airports, then Azure Power, Saint-Gobain Glass, Adani, a very famous name. Then a few of the very well-known names in the industry, Zydus Pharma, based out of Gujarat. So there are few industrial and commercial customers for whom we have built solar power plants, and they have been coming back to us again and again to build new plants. So these are a few installations, again emphasizing our presence in all the areas. This is in the northern region. Then in the western and the central region, starting from Maharashtra, Gujarat, and even all the way till Chhattisgarh. We also have an installation in Madhya Pradesh, in Indore. Actually, the Indore airport has 1 megawatt of solar power plant that we have built. Yeah, continuing with central region. And this in the southern region in Karnataka, you can see like we have a lot of plants. Apart from this, we also have installations in Tamil Nadu that we are building right now. And also in Hyderabad Airport, 10 megawatts. In fact, most of Hyderabad International Airport runs on the solar power plants that we have built. Yeah, 10 megawatts of solar power plants there. Hyderabad Airport, 10 megawatts. Then Delhi Airport, 9 megawatts. And yeah, this is in Maharashtra, 29 megawatts that we recently built in March. So this is a brief about the overall solar market in India, and then subsequently also about what Enerpark in India is doing and how important Enerpark India is for Enerpark globally. So now I'll hand over to Nataraji to explain about the opportunities available for MSMEs and how we can collaborate and work together. I will. If any of you also are interested in exploring rooftop for your industries and factories, we can, irrespective of whether we install it or not, we can help you understand how it works to begin. And if you like it, then we can perhaps go ahead and also propose what we can do. Usually we take up installations which are at least about 500 kilowatts. And if in case it is a smaller system, we can still help out and make you understand how to do it and how it can save power. Usually the break-even period for solar power plants is around 3 to 3.5 years for the MSME sector, and it is investment worth making. We in general educate people about solar and explain them how it works. So we are always happy to do that, irrespective of our business interests. So please do reach out to us if you have any queries, or if you are interested in actually exploring this as an alternative for your particular factories or industries. Also, we do have a channel partner program, and we do have an installation partner program, under which we share a part of our earnings whenever we are doing a plant or whenever we are building a solar power plant with one of the partners who would either bring us the project or who would execute the project, who would bring and execute the project. So for those of you who are into the electrical and electronics and industry, we would be more than happy to talk to you one-to-one, explain you how these programs work. They will help us partner with you in enhancing our own sales pipeline, as well as help you earn a reasonable amount of, I would say, fees on all the success projects that we have. So that's what I have to say, and I'll leave it to Mr. Natarajan.
Hold on for a minute.
Sorry. What is the presentation? Sorry, solar PPT. No? We'll go ahead. Can you see the presentation now?
Yes, sir, we can see. Please go ahead, sir.
Thanks, Subramaniam. I wanted to tell about the opportunity for the MSME sector in the solar business. We are into both rooftop solar system and also utility scale solar system. Main heart of the component is module. Module, as of now in India, yes, it is available, but higher efficiency module is not available. I think government is projecting. Government is proposing to put up a larger, bigger opportunities for the bigger industries. I think now Adani is there, Tata Power Solar is there. Still, the efficiency depends on the solar cell technology is required. So presently, partly last 6 out of 6 projects, 4 projects, we have used the local module only. So higher efficiency, if it is required, we have to import. Regarding the inverter technology in India, only couple of the people, they have put up the plants. They have started manufacturing. The technology is there, but again, the popularity wise, if you say the inverter, still it is imported for the rooftop segment, which is called string inverters. I think maybe you can see the photograph of the string inverter, how it looks like. The various capacity of the solar string inverter, it varies from 1 kilowatt to 50 kilowatt, 80 kilowatt, up to 100 kilowatt. Next comes the module mounting structure, is basically aluminum extrusions and the fabricated pieces. You can see there are several types of roofs there. So based on the roof design, we get the fabricated aluminum structure. This is one of the sector where MSME can now design and supply the component for the whole solar sector, specifically rooftop segment. Then next is AC DC cables, that is locally available. A lot of people are there. Earlier, in fact, DC cable used to be imported. Over a period of last 4-5 years, it is developed by Indian local the businessman, and the DC cables are available. We are procuring the local DC cables. Still, the opportunity is there. I'll tell you in the couple of slides what is the requirement approximately, so that the fair idea you will get it. Next comes the safety line. When we do the installation in the site over the rooftop, safety also plays a very important criteria. Safety line, we use it. You can see how the safety with the belt they will go in the roof for the installation. Then LT panel for the solar, for the power evacuation system, breakers like cabinets and the switches, all those things. The opportunity creates opportunity for the local MSME sector to contribute. And more or less, when we are doing across India the installations, we try to localize the source. It is not that from Bangalore we'll send it to Chhattisgarh or Gujarat. We'll try to localize the source. That is how the MSME sector across India will get benefited. Then comes the walkway and grating. For the in between the module, when we walk, there should, the tilt of the rooftop will be 2 degree, 3 degree, depends on that one. To have a safety, so have a safe grip, we put the walkway. Walkway again consists of several types. Earlier, we used to fabricate it with hot dip galvanizing. Subsequently, we went into the sheet metal fabrication. Now, FRP structures also are coming. We have used in a couple of sites FRP structures, which is available across the industry. Again, it is a MSME, they can contribute a lot. Then installation, basically around for a megawatt of rooftop, approximately 10 people are required, 20 people are mechanical technician to unload the module, take it to the rooftop and install it. So approximately 10 days is required. Yeah.
Please change the slide, sir.
Yeah, I've changed the slide.
Which slide are you seeing now? Can you
Not
see?
that it is saying a solar PV system, but that slide is still on, sir. Go to the next slide, sir, please.
Now,
It is the same, sir. It's still showing the same slide.
1 minute, there is some.
Yes, sir. Now it's okay.
Now you can see. Okay, just a minute.
Next slide is there, sir. Continue, sir, please.
Yeah. Hold on, so 1 minute.
Go.
No, you put in task.
Now it is visible, Shekhar?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir. You can continue, sir. Please.
Just tell us if, do you see the screen change?
Yes, sir. Now it is there, sir. Solar system, sir. Correct, sir.
Oh, yeah, please.
Thank you. Thank you for the information. This manpower is again plays a major role. We try to get the manpower from the local only, but we need a trained technician for handling the solar panel. It is a very, very fragile item. You have to take it to the rooftop, fix it properly. So local technician, approximately what we say is around 20 to 30 mechanical technicians are required for 10 days, and electrical technicians approximately 4 days required to complete the installation for the rooftop segment. Coming to the ground mount segment, again module, as I told, you can see the figure how the modules are put across the. See, usually a megawatt requires approximately around 3 to 3.5 acres of land. So once the land is available, then basically this involves getting the module to the site. It will be approximately 1 megawatt consists of around 2,000 modules. 2,500 modules. 2,500 modules. So it becomes a logistic nightmare sometimes, where the sites are very remote. So the handling of the modules is a critical for the success of the module installation. Then the inverters are most of the central inverters are made in India only. Again, MSME structure industry can supply the cabinet, the PCBs, and all breakers, all those things. So it pays already. They are contributing to the manufacturing of the inverter across India. Being in Bangalore, it's a hub of inverter. I should say around 4 or 5 big manufacturers are there, like ABB, Schneider, and T-Max, and a lot of people are there, like inverter. Because of the electronic industry developed in Bangalore, so a lot of inverter manufacturers are there in Bangalore. Then module mounting structure. This is the major item in the ground mount structure. Approximately earlier, if you see around 10 years back, per megawatt used to be around 80 tons, 70 tons, 80 tons was there. Over a period of lot of value engineering has been done. Now people are using like a roll forming sheet metal components, which you can see how the solar structure looks like. Now it has come down to around 25 to 30 tons per megawatt. That is what the industry standard for the steel utilization per megawatt. And substantially the costs have come down. People are going from 0.9 mm thickness to 2 mm thickness for the structures. So the value engineering has been done over a period of 10 years. And it has benefited the industry, and we are becoming more and more competitive across the globe also. Then it comes to HDLT system. The panels. It is locally made. We are procuring from several industries across India. Again, it is a localized setup because in case any service requirement is there, so we prefer in the state to procure the HD and LT panels. Then power evacuation, how you power evacuation, like switchyard, it's all old technology, and also it is required for the solar power plant. Inside the plant also there will be a small switchyard will be there, and again transmission line, sometimes it will be in our scope. We have to do the transmission line, and connect to the main grid. Basically, that is how the system is followed. Then in the service sector also, while you take a huge the quantity to the site, like module mounting structure, how you will install it. There are several options are there. Over a period of time, a lot of innovations also has been done, like piling, ramming. It depends on the soil content at the site. So based on that one, the design will be done and it will be installed at the site. The lot of civil works will be there, like road, trenching, and the water to move the water. There will be a trench will be there. Then construction of a control room at the site and inverter room at the site. It is pre-fabricated also. Sometimes we do it. Sometimes we do the civil construction also at the site. Then the switchyard, as I told, power evacuation switchyard also we do it. So manpower plays also a lot of importance here. Huge job opportunity for the local people, where approximately 200 to 300 people are required at the site to carry out 20 to 25 megawatts solar installations. And at a peak of the execution, maybe around 300 to 500 people will be there. Lot of labors will be required, and a lot of the equipments is required, like Ajax machine is required, and JCBs and all. This all plays a lot of job opportunity at the basically when we do the site. This one. Then comes to the rooftop. What is the value we see it? Like aluminum structure for the rooftop segment, approximately per megawatt, it will be around 4 metric tons is required. We in NRPark, we are targeting around 20 megawatt a year. It will be around 80 metric tons of aluminum is required, which is fabricated and used as per the design. Then walkway, it will be approximately around 140 metric tons. It may be a plastic also, like as I told, FRP also we have started using. Otherwise, earlier we were using a fabricated structure. Again, MSME sector can play a lot of role in this. Then, as I told, cables, LT panel, and installation team. Similar way for the ground mount structure, the roll forming, the requirement is there for the MMS module mounting structure. Approximately around 30 metric tons is required per megawatt, which will be, we are targeting around 100 megawatt a year, around 3,000 metric tons are required. So you can imagine the quantity of steel goes into the solar plant. So inverter, again, I told you the MSME sector, they can support in terms of supplying the cabinets, PCBs, and transformers, all those things. There are around 5 top manufacturers are there in India, in Bangalore only, who can supply the inverters. Then DC cable, AC cable, HD panel, and installation also plays a larger role, where the job opportunity for the MSME sector is required for the solar industry. Basically, this is how the supply chain is equipped in NRPark, and also in India. It's a lot of opportunity is there for the MSME sector to play a role in the solar generation. This is what I wanted to tell. Anything for that?
So there's, yeah.
Any questions? Anything?
Any?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. The floor is open to the participants. Anybody who would like to ask specific questions, please go ahead. There are 2 speakers who can answer it.
So there are 2.
I have a question, sir. I'm
Yeah.
from Chennai. I understand now there is apart for rooftop solar itself. You have a new solution with the roof integrated.
Yes, there are a few products like that in the market, but they have not been thoroughly tested. Usually, solar, if somebody walks on the solar panel, it develops micro cracks, and there is ample evidence to show that people should not walk on the solar power and panels or the glass on which is actually sandwiched on the top of the solar power panel.
But I understand now there are panels available where you can walk on it.
I know about it and I'm aware, sir, but we have not yet experimented with them. There are a few products, there is I think one or two that are available in the market. Having not experimented with them, we don't want to say something good or bad about them.
I think
But
Atom is one, right? Atom.
yes, that is one name, that is one of the products in the market. They have sandwiched it with fiberboard below.
Yes.
And there are a few other products also, which are, these are basically called building integrated photovoltaics. So, but the reliability and the lifetime performance, because as I was telling, the 25 years is the time for which a solar power plant is supposed to work. So it is something that we are yet to validate at our level. So,
But they are giving a guarantee of 25 years, sir. And also, I've seen a few installations. They look quite, impressive.
Yeah, we have discussed with the same people earlier. We have tried to collaborate in one of the project, but one is economics, and also since it is not a fully proven, we have not taken it to the next step. Probably we can think of that one. If it is they were talking about 10 kilowatt, 20 kilowatt size. If it is a bigger 500 kilowatt, no, as of now, whether it is economically makes sense, we need to evaluate.
yeah, one is the economics of it, and as I very clearly said, the lifetime performance is something that we guarantee at least a year of the performance of the plant through a physical, through a commercial bank guarantee. Guarantees, sir, in any country, forget about India itself, in any country, when we give a guarantee, we have to have the serviceability and the ability to also change. So when you sandwich a panel onto the roof, and there are many things that come along with it in terms of how do you maintain it, how do you actually take out one panel in between the whole sequence and then try to repair it if you have to repair it. When we build a solar power plant, we ensure that even the last panel that is farthest from the array is also cleaned. Now, when you actually are bonding panels next to one another, it becomes impossible to remove one panel and again put it back. There are some operational constraints. So to be very honest, as I said, we cannot say it's good or bad. We are yet to experiment it, but definitely something that is worth exploring as we go forward.
Yes, sir, because this is a follow-up.
Sorry, I will interrupt you. We will take the next question. Thank you for that.
Sir,
Hello.
from 1 minute, sir. Mr. Madhav, sir, please. Mr. Purushottam has a question, sir. Double-sided module is effective or not? There's one more question. Estimated land required for 10 megawatt power supply, power generation system, and estimated budget for the same. Also, we want to know about scheme named.
Okay, so to answer the double-sided module question, yes, double-sided or dual glass or what we call as bifacial modules, yes, they are effective, but they are effective to the extent of the ground on which we are actually going to keep these modules. Basically, because the concept works like this: that the solar panel on the reverse side takes the reflected irradiation and then generates power. So if the ground on which the solar panel is put is highly reflective, then the effectiveness of the bifacial module will be very high. And land required for a 10 megawatt solar power system is roughly about 40 acres, sir. 35 acres should also do. Yeah, and estimated budget for the same would be approximately around 40 crores. Yeah, 30 crores should actually 30 to 32 crores should serve for the building the plant, but then you also need to plan for the evacuation, and you also need to plan for the approvals related to the governments. So about KUSUM, I think that's a policy which is related largely to facilitate the installation of solar power pumps and infrastructure that would help the agricultural sector along with solar. I mean, how solar infrastructure can help the agricultural sector. So that's one thing, and I think details on the scheme are available publicly, but it is, I think, a subsidized scheme to help install solar power pumps and other facilities that are related to solar, other I would say appliances that will facilitate farming through solar power. Yeah. So uncultivated land near Hosur, 5 acres.
Some questions.
As I've already explained to you, this we can take up offline, sir, Mr. Ramesh, on the question of, first of all, you have to do a non-agricultural permit for the land. Then if it is allowed to be NA'd, then you can go ahead and install a solar power plant and evacuate into the grid. And for that to do, you need to have a power purchase agreement signed with an industry. We can definitely talk about it, sir. For a 10 kilowatt solar power plant, sir, the installation, the approximate cost would be close to 5 lakhs rupees. These are, I'm seeing the questions in the chat. I'm answering one after the other. What type of a paint would you be using? How a paint? So painting is also an important thing. So for the for some specific structures, we would need paint.
Epoxy paint.
Epoxy paint, yes.
Yeah, I think epoxy paint you can do it for the solar structure. But basically when you do the painting, the productivity will come down. It will be difficult. That is the reason people go for the hot dip galvanizing. And if you have to do we have done earlier to do the epoxy painting, the thickness has to be approximately 150 to 200 microns. For the offshore platform application and all, we have done. Only the productivity will come down. That is the main.
Shekhar, can I ask?
Yes, Mr. Madhav Paste, please ask your question.
Yes, sir. My name is Madhav Paste. We are coming up with a resort of 50 rooms in Kumta.
Yes.
It is almost completed. It's one of the biggest project we are coming up in coastal area. We want to get into it. One, this rooftop solar first. Second is channel partnership. And third one is we have a vacant land in the same area, Kumta Taluka, at 25 acres, which is NA. As a non-agriculture, we have converted it recently. So, what can we do with this? How can you help me?
Sure, Mr. Madhav, I think we can look
There
at...
are 3 questions.
Yeah, I heard your 3 questions. The one related to your resort, and since you're finished and you want to, we can propose an off-grid solar power solution for your resort, and depending upon your requirement, which could be a combination of solar plus battery, because this, though you may have grid connection there, again, we putting a solar power plant and then evacuating into the grid through the closest substation and then trying to get you an offset would be difficult. But in such resort kind of locations, we prefer to put an off-grid plant. First, that we can definitely look at. Then your other question is with respect to land that you have. We can look at the land and the location to the next substation. And one thing we can do is there a way we can maybe make it a captive solar power plant for your own industry? You're selling solar power if you have a requirement to that extent. If you don't have, then we can have an industrial association or a bunch of industries in your particular area who are interested in actually procuring cheaper power, sign up a power purchase agreement with you and then facilitate in setting up a solar power plant and sell power to multiple industries. That's another thing that we can do. The third question, if you can repeat, I'm sorry.
That is the channel partnership.
The channel partnership, thank you. So channel partnership, yes, we have a fairly attractive, I would say, fee structure, which ranges from about 2 to 2.5% of the value of the order that we get through you or through your connections. If we happen to actually close a particular project with industry, we pay a reward of 2.5% of the value of the order to you as a channel partner. And then when we are talking about commission, please don't take it as just passing the contact, because what we do is we also spend some time and train you on how solar works, so that you can more effectively talk about it in your own region of influence. And initially, you sort of become the brand ambassador for Enerpark, and we can go to the extent of allowing you to use Enerpark's logo and brand name in your own region, and we don't intervene there, and you do it yourself. And if you are interested to know more about it, please do drop us a line directly, and I can put you in touch with our Southern region head to take it forward.
Can you please share his contact details, sir, so that
we'll share it, sir.
I think that will be with Mr. Shekhar and Mr.
Yeah. Shekhar has my number and email ID.
We'll share it to you, sir. So Mr. Ramesh K has a question. Any protection is available for solar panels to protect from solid ice rains?
Pardon? Sorry, we didn't get. From protection from?
Question, sir.
Protection from?
Protection is available for solar
solid ice rains. Okay, I saw it, Ramesh. A very interesting question. I think that usually, so the glass that we use on solar panels is fairly strong to take such small impact loads. I would not say it's a small impact load, because when a hailstone falls, it falls with a lot of velocity, and the impact will be high. But these are tested for that, sir. Most of the solar panels are tested for that. Now, here comes another question, which one of the gentlemen was talking about, sandwiched panels, panel roofs. So the point is that anything that is repeatedly done, if it is done repeatedly, right, it will induce fatigue into that material, and it will cause it to crack, a micro crack it, to say the least. So yes, 1 odd, 2 odd in the life cycle of 25 years, maybe 5 or 10 hailstone rains is okay. But if somebody walks on it every month, thrice or 4 times, then we can have an issue with the panel cracking. But yes, solar panels can take those solid ice rains. Not a continuous rain for 10 days, but definitely once in every season, yes, not a problem.
Actually, solar panels are tested for this one, the ice load test, as per the IEC guidelines and the standards. Usually our BAS standards also specify that one, but in India, ice rains are very rare. So to that extent, it will pass.
Any other questions from the audience? We can take some more questions. Yeah, Mr. Subir, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I have a question about the vocational services and capabilities. So, as you said, there is a huge potential about employment in this sector, and I believe that there will be good requirement of skilled people also. So, I'm from Rotary Club, and I was just thinking that we have initiatives around vocational training, etc. Do you think that there is a good potential that we can come up with something to create the employment avenues for youngsters, as well as provide the necessary capabilities for the sector, which can be taken up across the sector, not just one company, but something can be worked out collectively?
Yeah. Oh, I think that's a beautiful thought, sir. And yes, there is ample need for employment. The biggest concern, and I'll be very honest with you, with most of the vocational services, and particularly related to infrastructure and construction, is the fidelity of payment, and how do you aggregate the so-called skilled workers and train them and then deploy them. So there are a few academies in India which are working in this direction, and there are a few coaching centers. One of them is a Stain-based academy in Hyderabad. They actually train for train candidates in solar power, how to install solar power plants and how to terminate the cables and so on and so forth. So the thought is beautiful, and I'm not sure which location you are based out of.
I'm from Bangalore, Bomsandra Industrial Area.
Okay.
I think you have a Sri Ravi Shankar Ashram is conducting they have a setup of solar technician program in Kanakpur Road. They are conducting batch wise. They are conducting. There are several organizations, though they will come to Bangalore and for a week or 10 days they set up and they train.
So we can put you in touch with some of these organizations. But through Rotary, if you can actually call them over and train a few individuals, or at least get them to enroll into their programs. And the challenge, however, is that once you empower them, would you be able to put them into something immediately or not? And that's where the gap is usually. And then once you put them, is there a consistency in them being rewarded for the work that they're doing? So those are the challenges which we have to solve through forums like this. So
Sure. I think this can be a beginning. If we can connect, then we can think about how we can.
Sir, I need to intervene for a minute here. I'm B.S. Srinivasan, Vice President, Laghu Udyog Bharati. We had interacted with the present President of Rotary 3190 District, Mr. Nagendra, and his team. And they are very keen to tie up with Laghu Udyog Bharati on this aspect of various vocational training on solar. We can give them an insight because a lot of our members are in solar field for many years in micro and small enterprise sector. After they get their mind thinking, then we can put them across to the various Sri Ravi Shankar Ashram or Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Energy. Even those institutions can take them up for 15 days. And also MSME PPDC from Agra has a scheme for solar. We can put them across to various depending on what interest they have. Thank you. And we'll wait for the...
We can take some more questions. We still have time.
Sir, when it comes to inverters, what are the main prominent brands available? Apart ABB?
Inverters, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, inverters. ABB is there. In Bangalore, Sungrow inverters are there in it is in Mysore Road. Then Timec, Toshiba, the Mitsubishi joint venture is there in Tumkur Road. Delta Electronics is there in Hosur. Hitachi is there in Ahmedabad. So these are all the several inverters.
Yeah. Now with this Chinese banning of Chinese imports, would the import of this photovoltaic cells be affected?
As of now, see, it is not banned from China. It is not banned. The customs delay is happening, but government has imposed will be imposing the basic customs duty from as Mr. R.P. Singh Minister has told. From August 1st onwards, there will be a basic custom duty will be there. Till now, the basic custom duty was 0. Now, earlier safeguard duty was there. Now, the basic custom duty is there. But even the technologies should be there. Like, for example, if I have to tell now, mono per same size of the panel, if it is made in India, they are giving around 380 watt peak or something like that. If you import it from abroad, it is around 450, 500 watt peak they are giving. So probably the Indian industries also should start generating, manufacturing higher capacity, higher generating modules. Then I think we procure local module only.
Yeah, we can take one last question.
I think Gabbar Singh, somebody is.
Okay, that's it, sir. I think we'll close the session. On behalf of Laghu Udyog Bharati, I sincerely thank both of you for the excellent and comprehensive session today we had on solar projects. I'm sure all participants are immensely benefited out of your informative session. May I request Mr. Gojraj, our Honorary Secretary, to kindly conclude the session, please. Before he takes up, I request all participants to kindly fill in the feedback form which is posted on your chat, so that we can improve our program further. Thank you very much. Mr. Gujraj, please.
Thank you, Sri Nataraj and Sri Subramaniam. Thank you very much. A lot of insights into solar, this one. Thank you very much. And thank you. We value your time and an opportunity for our LUB fraternity to partner with your company. Definitely our members definitely will be in touch with your company if any requirement and the development of solar power plants. Definitely we will be in cooperate with you and your company, definitely, sir. Thank you very much. So also I thank all the participants for today's session. So please, as requested, request you to fill the feedback form and send to us. If anything is there, definitely we will connect with you with NR Park Energy Private Limited. Thank you, Mr. Nataraj and Subramaniam again.
Thank you.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.